What up YouTube? It's been a while since my last post, but we're finally back just in time for a new upcoming drop, as our first Cold War DLC has been confirmed by Treyarch, named Firebase Z, which will be released on February 4th during the second half of Season 1. The map was rumored to be released as part of Season 2, but the Black Ops Zombies developer surprised the community with an announcement on the 14th of this month, a day before 115 Day. More and more signs pointed towards the Zombies to Vietnam move, as new pieces of intel had been leaked online found within the Cold War game, confirming this next chapter will take place in Vietnam. And then audio intel from Samantha Maxis. Towards the end of the clip, she mentions that she's on her way to meet a contact in Southeast Asia. It's more likely that the Samantha Maxis is heading to Khe Sanh military base that was mentioned in other pieces of intel, but who she's meeting still remains a mystery. But it appears that this outpost will then end up being the second chapter of the Dark Aether storyline. So I'm sure most people know a lot by now that this new DLC, since its announcement, has been released, so I'm keeping it short and will drop any further new content in early in-game gameplay like last time. Since it's been a while since my last upload of actually playing this game, I thought it'd be nice to show my first game back, my strategies, and what still works since I've last played Zombies, along with some tips that may seem obvious to some but can really change the game for others. There's a couple pretty scares, some stem shop saves, a last second Exfil because I couldn't find the zombie, and stay tuned. So as you can see here, the first thing I did, obviously because I already had the maxed out Bowie knife, so I just go over the few first rounds just knifing, just collecting as many points possible. Because what this does is you're able to open up all the doors up to wherever you need, whatever strategy you may end up doing. And it's just a good way to collect points and just have everything prepared really early on, because points is a huge part of this game, specifically in this type of zombies compared to other previous zombies. Points is a lot more, each dollar kind of is worth more, so you want to really take care of everything. One huge part right here that we've seen is I did not get Jug, obviously not just because I didn't have enough money for it, but because in the future you're able to get that little dance Easter egg thing that gives you a free Jug, so that saves you 2,500 in itself, or the 2 grand that it would take in order to purchase the Jug. And as you can see here, I'm still using the Bowie knife, but with a combination of the shotgun in order to kind of thin the herd so it's not so much and I don't get caught up and die. But obviously still you want to maximize points, nuke, you see you don't want to pick it up, you kind of want to, try to get as many other kills and points as possible before you hit it. Things like this is what matters in this early stages of the game. So now that we move on, we turned on the power. Right here we're doing on the terminals in order to then activate the Aether tunnel to then get the pack and punch turned on. So yeah, we're just continuously just moving on. I mean, I'm having no rush in this game to do everything early on or trying to do the Easter egg really early on or anything like that. I'm just playing as things go, just killing zombies. If there's a zombie in front of me, I'm just gonna kill it. Also, you'll see why I did choose the Ring of Fire over any Aether Shroud or any of the other ones. And here we have what I was talking about with the Jug. So you hit all 5 of these little orbs as you're playing, or you can just save a zombie if it makes it easier. Once you hit all 5, you get teleported, and then they start doing the little coffin dance, and you get your Jug. You may potentially get any other legendary or rare weapon or whatever it is, like a ray gun or something. In this case, I think I got the rocket launcher, which I used for a bit. And so I was also talking about the Ring of Fire and why it's so effective. Some people say, oh, you have the Aether Shroud, so if you get into trouble, you can just use it and get out of the way. Kind of like some of the Gobblegums in previous games. But you see the effects of this, it's pretty strong. One, it allows you to wipe out those mega zombies. And then when it splits, wipe them out right away, because they create a lot of chaos for you, especially when a lot come at you. And especially when you're kind of camping in any other situation. So the Ring of Fire does work exceptionally well, and it does also kind of help you in a way with how they say with the Aether Shroud, like it kind of makes you invisible and protects you when you get in a sticky situation. That kind of does the same because it does damage to the zombies. So if you activate it while you're surrounded by zombies, it kind of kills them all and allows you to kind of like do damage and get out of that situation, kind of fight your way out. So it's also effective in both ways and just as effective as the Aether Shroud. The Aether Shroud obviously has its perks. It does allow you to do a couple glitches. But as you see here, this guy, like, you know, you're fighting him and everything. But if I had, you know, the Ring of Fire, boom, I activate it, use this shotgun because the shotgun's just OP, and then you just continue blasting at his head and a couple shots and he's down. As long as, like, you know, your gun is up to par to whatever level you is in terms of upgrading. You also want to remember that as soon as you do see this mega and the bombers and all that, the megaton, when you do kill them, you are going to receive that card so you can go get the Die machine. So you can see here we use a Ring of Fire as well. When I did get it, I'm just literally blasting at them. You know, look, 2 shots, boom, you wipe them all out. And they were literally on me, like slapping me, and I was good to go. So it's a really great, you know, special. It's probably the best one. I'd rank the Aether Shroud as the second one. Some of the other ones, like the Frost ones, I don't really like as much. Even though I have everything upgraded, I still believe that the Ring of Fire is the best one, especially when we camp in a strategy that I'll show later. So like I mentioned, we, you know, kill the Megaton, we get the bombers, and then we get that little card. You do all the Die machine stuff, and boom. And this just is another step in order to get to that, you know, grinding of rounds that people use up here, where they chill right here and they use the Ring of Fire to kill the zombies that are spawning in one area, and then while they're using the ray gun to spam the other area. So I'm just gonna go ahead and get into trouble right here. So now that I'm up here already, you know, fighting these guys, might as well just do the Frost Die machine and then hit that crate so the little beaker can drop, and then use a sucky so I can kill the zombie and then get this canister for the Nova 5 gas die machine. So now that we made our way, we picked up the beaker or the flask, I guess, and now we're gonna go where the plane is as it's rised up. Now we're gonna hit that little box or whatever so we can get that little fuse for our fire. So now we're gonna go ahead and head our way down using that same Aether tunnel to go get the Aether scope pieces. So we're gonna go to the spawn and try to get the first one, where we thought was gonna be the first one. So you pick up the first one, then you go and head downstairs to where you turn on the power, right next to, in the middle of the 2 different pathways, I guess you can say, from the middle, where you can go straight up. You go behind here, you see right there the little box, you go pick that up, and then you spawn another little bit around of those little doggies, and you continue. And this is a pretty interesting situation where I'm showing you how effective the shotgun pulls Ring of Fire and all that is, along with the stimulus, boom. But not just the Ring of Fire, but also the D machine. Look how effective it is, because you get so much damage multiplication from the Ring of Fire. You literally, without insta kill, you're able to just do this. And then obviously with insta kill, it's gonna be even way easier. Another huge tip, obviously, that I didn't do here, you don't want to buy that second shield immediately. You want to only buy that first shield and then upgrade the weapon that you're planning to upgrade along and keep throughout the whole thing, because the level 2 armor uses the same resources as a level 1 weapon upgrade. So you want to do the 500 of the armor level 1 and then start working on your upgrade for your weapon, and then you want to work on your second upgrade for your armor and kind of keep the third armor as like a last thing until you completed the full upgrades of all your weapons, because you'll be able to, with the shotgun, just one hit kill everything and it'll be super easy. As you can see, I did not do that strategy that I was talking about, because I was just thinking, oh, I'll just get the ray gun so I won't try to invest too much into this gun. Eventually I did just stick with the shotgun because it is my favorite weapon currently. But then you saw that I also went to upgrade it immediately, since I didn't choose to upgrade in terms of the weapon tier. And the best perk for the weapons is definitely the electricity one, the wire, zap wire, whatever it's called, dead wire, because it's essentially the best one. It does the most damage to the megaton zombies and the bombers. Also, the turned is one of the other best ones, but I would stick to that dead wire. Right here, you're gonna see the effectiveness of what a shotgun to do. You see how much damage it took from that megaton, and it's not even one of the more upgraded. As I said, I didn't necessarily focus on upgrading the tier, but you see how much damage it's able to do. So with the Ring of Fire, I was probably able to take that out in 1-2 hits without really fully being upgraded in terms of the tiers. But here also is a representation of why a stimulus shot is also effective and helps you get out of those sticky situations. Where Ring of Fire could have also been effective, I just didn't have it at that time, which is always a good reason why you want to have that, along with having a chopper gunner if you do have the resources for it, and then obviously a self-revive if you do end up going down. And you essentially never go down, because if you do get in a sticky situation, you just hit right on that D-pad and you get out of that, because you just, you don't get hit through the little animation of activating the laptop and everything. So it ends up working perfectly fine, and you can get out of a very tight situation. Just remember that it cannot be used when you're inside the Aether Shroud, or when you're in the Dark Aether. So here you see another representation of that Ring of Fire, the damage you can do. And look what I'm doing. I'm able to easily just like have unlimited ammo with this die machine, because I can just suck everything up. Pause. So now that we're all good, we got enough resources, we're gonna go ahead to our support and buy our chopper gunner, just in case we do get into those situations. And we can actually start, even if we don't have the ray gun, get started with a little strategy where you go into that the rooftop of Not Toten, and you just chill there and just rack up rounds until you're ready to exfil. So for fun, obviously, I'm just gonna go ahead and just do all the stuff that you can do. And this is the part what I'm telling you: do not forget that when you're in the Aether, you cannot use the chopper gunner. So this is a pretty sticky situation, and hopefully, well, luckily I did get out, but just another thing to remember, that you cannot use those things because it is pretty dangerous. So obviously I went out and got all the rest of the elements for the die machine. Here, using that same Aether, I went back after I juked them out, got the fuse. And this is where it gets interesting, and a huge step for when you go and do the electric one, the die machine. Once you open up the tunnel, whatever, the Aether tunnel, you just immediately run up to this tunnel that shoots you back up into the Nocturne Totem area. And this is going to be your constant point that you're going to be doing in order to quickly, and I'm talking quickly, completing this challenge in order to activate this. Because you immediately go up here, suck this one up, and here this dude decided to hop in and say, hey, suck me up too. Pause. And then you go back, through the same tunnel. Obviously it is going to take you a little bit of money, about 3k or more. Then you just go back to that little crate that you're supposed to go up to. Boom, make sure you're actually touching it and it tells you to shoot, because sometimes it doesn't register. And then you run back, boom, same thing, another fast travel. And you just keep doing this over and over to get to every single location, because this is a main point of the map. It's easy to access every point. So you just obviously plant the explosive and you go straight down all the way, because there's obviously going to be nothing in your way, and it clears up everything pretty easily. Boom. You can do that same strategy for when you exfil. If you are exfilling in a high round, keeping that door closed as well, so whenever you do have to exfil, there's nothing in front of you in order to get to the exfil area. So you just hit that wall explosives and you just jump right in, and zombies won't be spawned right in front of you. So again, you go back, discharge the little lightning that you suck up, and then you go back and pick up this, go through the same exact fast travel tunnel thing, and we go and do the last part. So like I said, it's very easy. It only costs about 3,000 if you have enough, and it makes it a lot more efficient if you are trying to go for a high record or high speed type of world record type of Easter egg thing, or you're just trying to do it quick, hassle free. In this case, that was my point. I did not want to go around, so I just did it right away. And it is one of the better ones for me, in terms, I do like the normal shockwave. It is one of the better clearing ones. It gets you out of sticky situations, but this one's also great in terms of when you add it with the ring of fire, because it has so much ammo, so you're able to suck with the ring of fire a lot longer, so you're able to do a lot more damage for a lot longer period of time. And then you saw right there, even though we went back out of the Aether, I was still able to hold on to what I sucked, the little yellow energy, and then still discharge it. But I don't know, to me this electric one is one of the more favorite ones. Like I said, the shockwave and this one are my two favorite ones. It's just fun to use. It has a lot of like ways that you can use it, especially with the it's a kill and everything, and it just completely melts zombies, like, and it's fun. The Nova 6 is more of a training one, and you know, the Frost one is kind of useless, and so this was just pretty awesome. The fire one's just another version of the shockwave one. So it, as you can see, just melts right through all the zombies. It even works on the megatons, it works on the bombers as well, any type of zombie that you want. Fortunately here we got the nuke, so I couldn't show, you know, its full potential, but look right here, like, boom, completely melted. This is round 20. It's not a high round, but you know, it's still pretty interesting round where, you know, they do have a considerable amount of health. So as you're also prepping, trying to gain points in order to set up and get the ray gun and set up in that little camping spot, my favorite spot to actually just randomly play this game is in spawn. As you can see, it's just a very open spot. Obviously if you leave some of these doors closed, it can make it a little easier, but it's just a lot of places to be. And then you can see the effectiveness of ring of fire here, like literally melted everything in front of me. Megaton was nothing, and it's not even that upgraded of a weapon because I was planning on doing the ray gun like I mentioned earlier in the video, but and it's just so much space, so easy. You have the chopper gunner, you have the workbench right next to you, you have the ammo right there that you can just constantly. It's just a perfectly set up area in order to train zombies if you are a fan of doing that. But if you're just a camper, just go ahead and just camp right away. But if you get a little tired, this is a great place to just come and train and have a little bit of fun, or just enjoy the old school kind of feeling of training zombies in an open area. But you see here, look, we're continuously look at how much damage this shotgun. This is why this shotgun is OP. 1-2 shots and it kills, and it's round 25, and so it's not that upgraded, but it still works wonders. So now this is the spot that I'm telling you, once you've, you know, got a little rounds, you're set up, you may have your ray gun by now, your dime machine, your monkey bombs, your chopper gunner, everything, all your perks. But like as you see, I only have the shotgun. So the intention of this is to kind of set up your ring of fire right where I'm at right now, and then you want to just spam the ray gun where I'm shooting at right there. So once that ring of fire does end, you want to have things that kind of stall time and gets you a little bit of bonus on your ring of fire to get it back again. So like the monkey bong and stuff, any say claymores, grenades and stuff, just so you can get your ring of fire back. So with the ray gun, obviously this is a lot easier. Once you get any of these insta kills, you just use this big old thing and you suck them back up. Unlimited ammo, like I mentioned, this is also great for that, this electric version. And yeah, so that's essentially the goal, just trying to continuously try to bring back that ring of fire and cause massive damage, and you just blow right through rounds. The only thing is sometimes, you know, you're not able to do that, especially if you do have, you know, the shotgun like me instead of the ray gun. It's a little bit different of a process, but once you know, just get used to it, you can just blow right through rounds. So here's a situation where, you know, you have all the setups, I use all my stuff, but my point here was to try to get the ring fire and use it here, but I saw I was probably gonna get stuck, so I just hit the chopper gunner, which is the point of having it here. So whenever you do get in a sticky situation, you just whip out the chopper gunner, the animation, they can't hurt you or anything, and you just literally just rip through the round. You just, you know, I think it's like 60 seconds that you get with this chopper gunner, and you just blow through all of them. Make sure you do get the ones that are under the tent that might not be visible or shown, that are right next to you when you did activate it, so when you do come back, they're not just standing right next to you. And like I said, this game has still proven to be a great game. Since I started from launch, I've had a great amount of fun from it. I still come back a month or two later after playing, and it's still the same, still great. Shotguns are still OP melee weapons. This Die machine is still great. Ring of Fire is still the go-to thing what I'm seeing for high rounds. And yeah, this game is really just a game where if you know the little nicks and crannies, all the little details, you can kind of just have a good experience. Like I mentioned, you got to know where to allocate the money, where to spend your resources, how to spend them, how to kind of prioritize certain things, and then just have normal basic idea of training, how they work, what's more effective on what, and what's the best things. As you can see, boom, amazing. Look at this, 2 shots and what, 4 or 5 shots like from a far distance. And remember, this isn't really upgraded. And right before I show you the Exfil and the close Exfil, there's literally a second, I just want to show you how effective this Die machine is, especially when you have that insta kill. So you just, you're melting through them right now, but watch this. You turn on insta kill, just don't miss your tomahawk, and then you just blow right through the whole train. And it's so satisfying, like just seeing all those points rack up. I don't know, I just really enjoy this. So after finally hyping up so much this like last second Exfil, we finally get to see it. So like I mentioned, you could have easily done that little strategy that I meant. Boom, just go straight through here. And you see how all of those zombies are already like spawned there? If you had that door closed and you were doing the crazy little camping thing up top where I showed recently earlier in the video, then you go down there and you don't have to worry about all the zombies already being there or having to run down there. So a lot of people, and it's one of my actual advices that you do not really want to use a chopper gunner for Exfils, because back then I know that it did spawn zombies in other places in the maps, so you had to try to find them, and sometimes it would take too long in order to be able to, for them to walk down here and for us to be able to kill them inside the zone. So people recommended using the war machine, but I ended up using it and it worked out fine. So I'm assuming that they did patch that if it was considered a glitch. But again, here, Ring of Fire is very, very effective. Also, Aether Shroud could be effective if you get in trouble too, 'cause, they won't see you. But look how easily I'm able to just take down all the hostiles. And then this is the pretty crazy part that I've been trying to hype up, where these past 20 seconds it's just me running around trying to find that zombie, so I kill it, but it was glitched in this tank or something, and I'm over here thinking like, where is it, running around thinking that it's just doing some ring around a rosy thing trying to hide from me. So it finally comes out literally half a second right before we have to Exfil. So fortunately it ended up being the first game back that was successful Exfil. And if you liked the video, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, go ahead and comment, let me know what you did and didn't like. And if you really enjoyed it, go ahead and subscribe and hit the like button, and stay tuned for any future content.